Cornwell, Midwifery Business Consultation. One of the things I want to talk about is this mental game we play with scarcity versus abundance. It's hard in today's society with so much happening and feeling so much pressure on time, on so many changes quickly, on these unrealistic expectations of midwives and moms and families and just the needs to keep up with everything. And so that can easily send you down that scarcity, fearful mindset. And it will flow over for personal life. You'll get more fights. You'll be frustrated with everything. You'll be very negative and unhappy. It can overflow into your business, into your career, whether you're part of a bigger system or you have your own business. That fear, it's a cyclical effect because then it just kind of pours out this negative energy of you, and then it draws more negative energy towards you. And so I really try to challenge you to step back, figure out where's the opportunity, where is the learning. If I'm not happy with things where they're at, I have control of my life. I love my life coaches giving me an example. When I start getting anxious and I start feeling overwhelmed with all these opportunities, all these challenges, all these backdrop things happening outside my control, going back to the basics of just slow, deep breathing and thinking about, I can control this. I can control my mind. I can control how I react to these situations. And that makes me very humbled of like, okay, there is abundance. There's opportunities. There's always opportunities. When there's a challenge, there's an opportunity on the other end of it that needs to be filled. So what can we do? What can we, when we're having COVID and all the midwives are crazy busy all over the country and there's such a need for home birth, out of hospital, normal birth processes, but there's not enough midwives to fill it, and the midwives that are doing it are feeling exhausted. They're just overwhelmed. How do we find a solution to the problem? And so with Midwifery Business Consultation, and I saw on a bigger system level the barriers, the challenges that midwives had. We love to catch babies, but we don't go into it for the numbers and the business and the backdrop side of midwifery, which is very powerful and has a ripple effect on how you serve families, how your family is taken care of, the risk of burnout. Like when I see midwifery practices that have a good, strong business foundation, the midwife running the practice gets the business side, the numbers, the market analysis, the importance of leveraging the experts within the community. Their demeanor, their mental state, their mindset is night and day different. They're abundant, they're in good health, they're happy, versus the midwives that are more fearful and more scared in the knowledge, the resources, the lack of feeling of control of their options and choices because they just don't know what's available to them, creates this cyclical cycle and causes the burnout, causes the scarcity mindset. And so I always stress to midwives, it's just as much of a mental shift. Running a practice, changing how you look at life, changing opportunities that come your way. One of my favorite books is Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill. I've listened to it. It's about 10 and a half hours long. I've listened to it 7 times now. And every time I listen to it, I learn something new. I reinforce in my mind, how do you create value? How do the most successful people in history do it? And there's very classic traits. There's very classic things. We talk about the income streams. We talk about the business, financial, legal knowledge to make financial freedom and make abundance in your life and opportunities. But it's just as much about your mindset. It's just about that professional development. And how do you look at things? If there's a failure, there's a mistake, there's an error that happens, how do we approach it? Do we get scared and run away and avoid it? Or do we embrace it as, okay, this is a positive, this is a learning experience, now I can serve people better, I can improve processes, I can make a better product, I can make a better brand for my life and for my services based on this experience. In the moment, it doesn't feel like that. In the moment, your heart's racing, you're feeling very stressed out, but then after it's over, and each time in your mind you think a little bit more positively about change and about failure and opportunities, it gets easier. Now my joke is I like to fail lots and I want to fail fast because that's how I'm going to get more successful, versus as humans, if we keep the same routine and we keep our habits, we don't grow, we don't increase opportunities and abundance in our life. And that's why 1% of our population truly reaches financial freedom, truly reaches living. They aren't on anybody's restriction time clock. They're not on anybody else's rules but their own. And it really comes down to that mind shift. What can we do? Where do we want to be? I can commit to audiobooks. I can commit to professional development courses. I can commit to doing something different in my life. Whether I'm frustrated, whether I want a different direction, I am going to start shifting so that I'm not in this fearful scarcity mindset. I'm going to look at my competition as collaboration. I'm going to look at an opportunity of what I thought negatively and avoided in the past as a learning opportunity, as a win-win situation of how can I create wealth and value to me, to my business, to the families that I serve.